Leonor's soft tears while receiving recognition. What happens when someone who has spent years learning to remain composed suddenly struggles to hide the emotion on her face? For Princess Leonor, moments of recognition are rarely just about applause. They carry expectations, they carry responsibility, and sometimes they reveal something much more human beneath the royal title. When Leonor stepped forward to receive recognition, cameras captured a remarkably delicate moment, a change in her expression, a quiet pause, and what appeared to be tears gathering in her eyes. But why did this moment seem to affect her so deeply? And what could that reaction tell us about the journey she is making toward her future role? Stay with me, because the meaning behind this moment may be more powerful than the ceremony itself. The moment everything changed, the atmosphere was formal. Everything was carefully arranged. The speeches, the ceremony, the applause, every detail carried the weight expected of a royal occasion. And then came Leonor's moment. She stepped forward to receive recognition, maintaining the calm and dignified presence people have come to associate with her. But as the attention turned toward her, something subtle happened. Her expression softened. For just a moment, the confident public figure seemed visibly moved. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't theatrical. It was quiet. And perhaps that's exactly why people noticed. Because when someone is constantly expected to remain composed, even the smallest emotional reaction can become incredibly powerful. More than an award, recognition can mean many things. Sometimes, it represents achievement. Sometimes, it represents sacrifice. And sometimes, it becomes a reminder of how far someone has traveled to reach that exact moment. Leonor's public journey has involved education, military training, official duties, and preparation for an extraordinary future. Each stage has demanded discipline. Each appearance has placed her under intense public attention. So when recognition arrives, it can symbolize more than a certificate, medal, or ceremony. It can represent years of preparation finally being acknowledged. And that is what makes a seemingly small emotional reaction so fascinating. We can observe the moment. We can see the expression. But we cannot know exactly what she was thinking. Perhaps it was pride. Perhaps gratitude. Perhaps simply the overwhelming atmosphere of the occasion. Only Leonor herself knows. And that uncertainty makes the moment even more intriguing. The future queen behind the title. There is another reason moments like this attract so much attention. Leonor isn't simply growing up in the public eye. She is preparing for a future unlike that of almost anyone her age. One day, she is expected to become Queen of Spain. That future brings enormous responsibility. Yet moments of visible emotion remind the public that behind the formal title is still a young woman experiencing important milestones in her life. That contrast is striking. The public sees the princess, the uniforms, the ceremonies, the official photographs, the carefully prepared speeches. But occasionally, a small unscripted expression breaks through all of that formality. A smile that lasts a little longer. A nervous pause. Or, as in this moment, eyes that appear to become emotional. And suddenly, the distance between the royal institution and the person standing inside it feels much smaller. Why this moment matters? The most powerful moments aren't always the loudest. Sometimes, they're the quiet ones. The applause eventually fades. The cameras move on. The ceremony ends. But a single emotional expression can remain in people's memories because it feels genuine. Leonor's apparent tears during this recognition created exactly that kind of moment. Not because tears automatically reveal what someone is feeling, they don't. But because they remind us that public figures can experience meaningful moments just as intensely as anyone else. And perhaps the most important part isn't trying to decide exactly why she became emotional. It's recognizing what the occasion represented. A chapter completed. A challenge faced. A future approaching. And another reminder that the path toward the crown is being built one experience at a time. So, when you look back at those soft tears, don't just see a princess receiving recognition. See a young royal standing at an important point in her journey. The applause may have been for what she had accomplished, but the emotion on her face made the moment feel deeply personal. And maybe that's why people couldn't look away. Because behind the crown, behind the ceremony, and behind all the expectations, there is still a human story unfolding. And Leonor's journey is far from finished. The recognition may have lasted only a few moments, but the future those moments represent could last a lifetime. And that is what makes this quiet emotional moment so unforgettable.